Hello, welcome everyone. This is Isaac again. If you have watched video 1 on how to subscribe to help you get your foot inside the employment agency, once you've completed your studies, graduated, you've completed your internship or your learnership, now the real work begins. Now, between you and me, if there is anyone with a contaminated mind who thinks there are no jobs in South Africa, I can tell you, that person hasn't done their homework. I would ask you to go and do your homework, and I guarantee you there is so much work that you can't handle. South Africa can't handle the amount of work that the private sector has to offer. It's just that the candidates who are looking for these job opportunities are not ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and probably otherwise. Until such time your mind is right, you will hit against the wall every time you look for a job. And then in this video, I'm going to say to you, try and belong to social media networks. I've said this on my articles, I've said this on my blogs, I've said this on my podcasts. Now, most of you don't understand that we are getting into a period in history where the revolution of technology is not only is it going to define moments of how we do things, but also it is going to influence how we should do things. If you look at 10 to 20 years ago, we did not have Facebook, we did not have Twitter, we did not have LinkedIn, we did not even have the internet as we see today. Now, it is our opportunity to try and align our thinking, our work ethic, our social patterns in line with that technology. Most people see technology as a threat. Actually, it is a better solution than what history has offered us in the past. So, what I would like to influence in this topic is for you to understand how human resources or how employment agency work, because I happen to be one of them, was one of the employers in the past. So basically every company is looking for a superstar. A superstar is a person who is not only dedicated, but a person who is very focused, a person who knows what they want, and a person who has drive and inspiration, people who are inspired. The only way to understand and evaluate the effectiveness and the potential of the person is to go through social media and see what it is that they are posting. Whether you're using Twitter or you're using Facebook, it's easy to sort of check the trend. The third item is to look at newspaper posts, like an incident where there was a racial conflict between comments that were made by one lady who was a member of the DA, that Africans are blah blah blah. That actually sent the waves, across the industry on social media. Now, most of you don't understand that social media is one component that corporations, HR personnel, as well as employment agencies are using to look at the pattern of people who are leaders. In other words, if you are a leader and you are a responsible citizen, you'll post things that build other people instead of destroying other people. So the social media is a very powerful platform where you can get credibility in terms of your Google ranking. How do you contribute towards the society? That's the first thing. The second one that will make an impact and an impression to the personal agency or human resources or potential employer is your contribution to your society. Your contribution towards your community plays an important role in them understanding your leadership traits. If you are not doing anything in your community, your chances are even your CV will probably end up with 2 or 1 page. So there are means and ways to understand the cultural direction of the employment industry, both in the private sector as well as in semi-parastatal agencies of government. So I want you to watch these videos. Once you have already subscribed, like I said in the previous video, I will be sending you text information. The way my strategy works, it's very, very powerful. In other words, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come on board and become part of a successful team, not only of job seekers. There is more than job seeking in this particular environment. We are changing our mindset, how we can take advantage of technology to not only better ourselves, but to make life much more interesting. So I'm going to communicate with you on a constant basis, sending you emails, sending you podcasts, sending you videos like this, sending you whatever it is that I'm going to be able to send you, so that your mind is focused. And once you've got that job, I want you to come back to me, communicate with me, and send me comments on how you've been progressing. One of our weakest chains as South Africans is the element of not posting positive comments towards each other. I'm not talking about Facebook or Twitter. That's absolutely unimportant. I'm talking about blog comment posting. There's two candidates that I want to make mention of. Those guys, they've really made an impression in the way. These guys are dynamic, and I hope you are not going to be offended, you guys, if I'm going to mention your name. Ernest, you know yourself. You are very, very dynamic. Some of your comments really inspire me. They make me do videos like this. Jean, you know what I'm talking about. Those comments that you send on the blog, posts on the blog, I really appreciate them. And then the other guy who really does, who we are in touch with, it's a project that I'm involved with the students. I'll call him Zwane, yes, Zwane. And then Linda, yes, and then the other guy is Temba. But I'm mentioning these guys because they are coming at the top of my head. But the rest of the 25 guys who were in my class, you guys are rock, you're superstars. So I will make mention of you as we go along, depending on the impression that you've made during the classroom as potential leaders. So going forward, I would like you guys not to give up. If you read something, the reason for this is that if you read something on the blog, or you happen to, I send you like emails and update you with information on what I'm writing about. Just say thank you, or say, hey, comment on anything, not necessarily a compliment. It could be a criticism, it's entirely up to you. It's a free country. The only way we become better is when people criticize us, or when they add something positive to what we are contributing. But all what I'm saying is, for you to be discovered by personnel agencies or employment agencies or human resources companies, is to rank your name via Google posting. Comment posting is a very, very, very powerful tool. But when you use comment posting, the AKAs or pseudonyms don't work effectively as much as, or as good or as better as your real name. If I wanted to send my name, Isaac, to rank a little bit high, I'll post everything about me, Isaac K, or Isaac Conjura, or Brai, depending on what my strategy is. But I will try and post using my real name, because when anyone wants to search me, if they are happy with my profile on LinkedIn, obviously LinkedIn is more career driven. They want to see generally what my leadership traits are, and then they say, I want to see what this guy is all about. And then they type Timba, and they realize, wow, this guy, man, he's really, his name is all over. If there is more than 10,000 Timbas, it means Timba is ranked on number 1 or number 10. Number 10 means this guy is really competitive. It means this guy has got a slight edge. A slight edge is the ability to do things different from what the other person is doing. So if you can understand that principle, that posting stuff on social media is not only credible for your credibility when you are looking for a job. The employer has the ability to try and seek your profile just before he calls you for a job interview. Now you are able to rank and come out, and then that's when it becomes very, very interesting. So at the end of this video, step number 1, try and put a comment. It can be anything that is in your heart. That, and using your name, if maybe you have a different profile using your pseudonym like Tibza or Zeg or whatever it is, Mzegezeg, then put in there Soli Rapel or whatever your real name is after the comment. That comment with your name in is actually going to give you credit on Google ranking. That's what it is. So make sure your social media footprint becomes a positive profile to rank you high, so that you sort of surface as one of the top leaders in finding the right job. Again, thank you very much for watching this part 2 of the video. I hope you're going to send that comment just for your own good before we go to the next step. I haven't started creating any other material that is going to. That one is called a classroom one-on-one online coaching. So it's work in progress. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Have a good life. Cheers.